Excuse me, Spider-Man, would you mind if I quickly had sex with your ship?
In a sea of endless faces, and my mind's in different places. I just wanna be with you. You make me tremble.
Yeah, I can show you what's going on here, because we're where we are with the recordings. We're recording another session, another 2 weeks worth of content tomorrow. So everything that everything that's been built has been released. We've released our latest episode already.
Oh, okay. Well, Mary's out of country at the moment, isn't he?
He is, yeah. But Mary's
Okay, yeah.
sort of it's called the Merry Friends because it was Mary who sort of got us all together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Mary's just one of us.
There we go.
Cool.
Put my helmet back on.
Mhm.
So you don't have to see my beard face. Prejudice against beards.
Oh, only on me. Okay, let me know when I'm clear to use the door.
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, Anubis doesn't much care for that design. He was talking to me about it, like, that he doesn't like how I have all the tubes and everything. He's like, I always make it so that I can walk it. And I was telling him Dracul doesn't like those designs either. But the only reason I do them is they save space. That's
Yeah.
it.
We'll just close that up as well.
And I mean, for the capabilities of this ship is actually quite compact.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love this ship.
And it has a certain look about it as well that I like. Yeah, so
Thank you.
let me show you what's going on in here. This is our post office.
Ooh. I love the architecture of these
Oh, it's
arches.
amazing,
This is so
isn't
cool.
it? Yeah, yeah. Have you seen?
I haven't been here in a while. I saw some of this, but of course I didn't record or post any of it, so...
So,
Yeah.
so
Ooh, I haven't seen this.
have you not? Oh,
Sorry.
come
I'm like a kid.
yeah, yeah. No, come and have a
Like,
run around.
ooh, what does
Everything's
this button do?
everything's half built. In fact, you might have an opinion on the color schemes, because that's certainly something that Anubis is struggling with the color schemes. So he put two possibles up there. One was the funny green, the other one's the funny pink, the sort of fuchsia color, because he wants a highlight color to go with it. He's struggling.
Oh, I hate to say it, but I think the pink is better than the like puke turquoise that's going on over here.
Now, I prefer this greeny colour. Does something really strange to my eyes. It makes my eyes tingle. But I'm slightly colourblind in the blue and green spectrum,
Yes.
so it probably doesn't look as bad to me. Whereas the fuchsia purple looks a bit.
See, I'm used to this because of Anubis.
Yeah.
And actually it uses like a darker purple most of the time, but you know, it's like this, but a few shades darker. So I'm used to the purplish pink. Turquoise going on here. It's awful. See, if I was wearing this color when I left the house, my gay friends would beat the hell out of me. They would be so angry at me.
Yeah, this is why I stick to primaries, because I can see primaries. Because I'm colorblind and I'm tonal colorblind. I can't tell the difference between shades of things. So my running joke being that there is only 5 shades of grey in my palette, not 50. And that is quite genuine as well, because there's no way on this earth I would ever be able to see 50 shades of grey. Most people can see about 5-10 times more shades than I can. So everything just looks the same. But I can tell my primaries apart. I can tell a primary green from a primary blue, and I can tell a light from a dark. But they've got to be quite distinct for me. It's like these two shades of grey here. You've got a dark and a light. I can see those two apart. Yeah,
There's
that's
actually
clear.
3 shades here, because this middle bar is a lighter shade. So it's actually, there's 3 there.
Really?
Yes.
You're not, because I never know whether anyone's teasing me or not. Because I mean, it is the Nidd. I can't tell that. I can only see 2 shades.
Yeah, yeah. Where this border is, there's 2 shades, one on either side, and then this middle part here is actually a separate color.
Really?
Yeah, it's a slight pink, like it's a little richer.
Yeah.
I paint and I draw, so I'm pretty good with color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, what's really interesting is, believe it or not, you see similar to how the myth on how dogs see is completely wrong.
Yeah.
The way dogs see is they actually see a larger spectrum than humans do.
Yeah.
And because of the larger spectrum, they can't tell detail as well as we do in the visual spectrum. Because they see slightly into infrared and slightly into ultraviolet.
Right.
So to them, orange and red aren't any different because it's a bigger spectrum. They can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
But again, they can see more. They can see slightly into infrared. And oh, my oxygen's low.
The med bay's fine. You can use the med bay up here. It is conveyed.
Oh,
and
yay!
It's close.
Yeah, Anubis hooked this bad boy up.
What I have is
oh, that was instant! Wow.
More rods. The light sensitive thingies in my eyes than the average person, and less of the cones, the colour detail.
Oh.
So I actually have really good night vision.
So I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So I can, if someone drops the keys on the ground, at night. I'm usually the first one to spot them. I see sort of something shiny on the floor. I can spot it a mile away. And when I go to a restaurant with my husband, often he can't read the menu if it's in a really dark and gloomy corner, and I have absolutely no problem at all. But the trade-off being is that I can't tell that there's 3 shades here.
Yep, 3 shades. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of lost. Like, what in the 7 hells is this thing?
Oh, this is Mary's little digger. So this is designed to fit inside a base, so you can run down small corridors and just trim little bits off walls and stuff like that. So it's a very fine detailed driller.
Aha.
But yeah, you can actually fit it inside corridors and things.
Oh, so I see.
Mm-hmm.
It's really ugly. I'm just going to say it. That is ugly as hell. But it has an interesting design about it.
Yeah, we used it for when we were building the asteroid base on our first series. It's all designed around the width of the corridors. So when he came on here, because he hasn't spent much time, because he's been away on holiday from almost the start of this series, he's only been in, I think he's had 1 recording session with us, and then he went on his big trip. So he just brought a blueprint in so that he had something to work on, and he's got that, and I think he's got another little ship somewhere around. But yeah, he's not had much time on the server because of his big vacation. He's spending a month away.
Jeez.
I think it's something like 2 weeks in Vegas and then 2 weeks in Florida.
My parents actually got married in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, through a drive-through chapel. No joke. Oh, go ahead.
I got married in Tennessee.
Oh, that's right. I recall you mentioning this. Yeah. You guys eloped. You're like, screw you people, and just off you went.
Not telling nobody. We're going on. Just told everyone we were going on the road trip, and then we went hiking off into the mountains in Tennessee.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to start talking about the post office again. So please do.
Oh, just on the subject. My marriage was actually the beginning of a bad joke. My my wife and I. Well, I'm an atheist. My wife is an agnostic. My parents are atheists, but the rest of my family are all Catholic.
Right.
My wife's family, they're all Mormon. You know, those crazy people out from the western side of the United States. And so my wedding was an atheist and agnostic being married in a room full of more atheists and Mormons.
Wow.
And actually we're having a pagan like hand fasting for our wedding. and it was my best friend that married us. Have you ever seen the movie The Big Lebowski?
Yes.
My best friend is a Dudist priest. They are a religion that was made based on The Big Lebowski. And it's called Dudism. And my best friend was ordained a Dudist priest, and he married us.
Wow.
So yeah, it was an event.
Oh.
And that was the only time that my family and her family have been in the same room together.
Yeah. Oh, now that's something I've managed to avoid.
Yeah.
My family are sort of a mixture of Irish Catholic and Irish Protestant, but certainly Irish partygoers. And they like to have a good time.
I know. I come from the O'Reillys.
Whereas my husband's family are all teetotal Methodists.
Oh boy.
And I really love my husband's family. They're very nice people. They're very different background to my family. I get on with his family better than he does, and he gets on with my family better than I do. So which has worked out lovely. But yeah, I'm the worst thing that ever happened in my mind was when my mother-in-law friended my mother on Facebook. And then it was like, oh god, my cover is blown. All this time they think, because for Americans, especially from the southern states, all they hear is my British accent, and it sounds ever so well-to-do to them. You know, I come across as being a lovely British lady. Whereas to anyone from the UK knows fine well from my accent that I come from the back streets.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I definitely know plenty of British people due to, TeamSpeak and all that, talking to everybody online. And yeah, you seem to have a very sophisticated accent to me. I'm very surprised. Well, especially, I know a Welshman, so your accent is amazing compared to his.
Yeah, it's no, I have a reasonably strong Liverpool dialect, and it's for people who know the area. They can tell that it's a North Liverpool dialect, which is the poor area of Liverpool. So you can tell I don't come from the. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth by any stretch of the imagination. But of course, my in-laws have no idea. They think that my husband's married this lovely British sophisticated lady. And then they met my mother on Facebook, and all my secrets are out now, of course.
See, for me, the Irish side of my family, the O'Reillys, they're a bunch of drunken brawlers.
Yeah.
I have no other way to describe them.
Yeah,
they're drunken brawlers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always kind of secretly been ashamed of that side, because even as much as I am into like weapons and combat and all that, I don't fight. I haven't been in a fight since I was in high school.
Yeah.
And so I'm a bit pacifistic. So I don't like hanging out with that side of my family much. And we had a death in the family, so we had like a big get together, and I brought my wife, and they finally got to meet my wife and my daughter for the first time. And I was afraid my wife was going to dislike them, and she loved them. They got along so well. And I'm just like so embarrassed by them. My wife's like, I don't know what your problem is. These guys are great. Throw me a beer.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens, isn't it? I'm going to finally get around to actually explaining what's going on with our post office here.
Oh, we're at the post office? I forgot about this place.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's very easy to just get overwhelmed with the arches and the fact that there's a room. But the way this is going to work, amazing arches.
So who actually built these arches?
Boris designed them, and then between us, Boris goes around placing scaffolding. Anubis copies them a little bit, and then I tell him where he's got it wrong, or Boris will tell him where he's got it wrong. I've done a lot of the digging and a lot of the welding. And it very much is a team effort, but the design is clearly Boris's. The colour scheme is not settled on. Boris hasn't settled on his colour scheme. He's still experimenting at the moment, but it is Boris's painting.
Yeah, it's a bit out there.
Mm-hmm.
You should yell at him and tell him to use primary colors.
Oh, you just leave Boris to it. You know, because he gets into when you're recording such a lot of episodes in one go. Oh, he really gets into it. Yeah, and you don't disturb him. It's just like there was one episode which was mostly, I think there was 3 of us and Boris, and most of the episodes for the other 3 of us were all of us just sat back watching Boris create, because it was fascinating to watch these archways starting to come into life. But yeah, anyway, the way this is going to work is each of these archways will be a personal arch. Like I've claimed this one, it's got half of an S on it, so this one's my archway. And there's going to be a connector for each of the arches. So we've built enough for 12 ships, so that everybody, and I think that at some point you're probably going to be commissioned to design the standard post office ship. Except Boris, of course, is going to use his Postman Pat van. And they're like little cubicles. And the idea is that they can then be automated, so that this will become a bit of a trading post. So people can automate their vehicles to come here and dock at their own connector. And it can all be controlled remotely then. So I'll be able to deliver the constant payments of platinum that you will no doubt require as Boris comes up with more things. He wants to collect. He wants an entire collection of children's cartoon vehicles. So we've there's quite a number on his want list. Like I said, once you've built the one that you've been commissioned for so far, there is another 3 on his to-do list, and that's to start with. So
well, I had so much. I did actually have a lot of fun designing the Postman Pat vehicle. Yeah, I have a room. It's a map for dogfighting, which actually I believe we've talked about. But I was in there, and Lacarthian and Dracul joined me one day, and they're like, "What the hell are you building?" and like as I'm building, I'm like, "Should I put actual like suspension with wheels on there?" And Lacarthian's like, "Yes, you should." And I'm like, "No, I can't fit it on a actual ship, so I just put the wheels on there." But I think for the next one, I'm not going to give any spoilers on it. For the next one, I think I will actually make it drivable as well as flyable. And I may even put mass blocks on it so Boris can drive it around inside his base and then fly off of it.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Which, if that is the case, I don't think you guys will see progress with him for a while. He's just going to be driving it around everywhere.
Yeah, because he could actually build himself a racetrack on the roof of his base. Our base.
That's true.
I keep calling it his base. Our base.
I was going to say, you're his accountant / half a shipbuilder. I say half because Mir's your other half.
Yeah.
Because literally you built half a drill ship, he built the other half.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I'm still absolutely blown away by what Mir's done. Oh, it's amazing. And Mir knows that I'm on the server at the moment, and he knows that I've just been on and I've seen it for the first time. So I'm betting that he's waiting to find out what I'm going to say. He's probably a bag of nerves. You know how he is. He's so cute. So to tell you, I mean, especially for a server admin, every other server admin. I love you all, server admins everywhere. You're all wonderful, wonderful people, and especially when I've got a problem. But yeah, server admins. I don't usually refer to server admins as being adorable, but we've got an adorable server admin. It's amazing.
And he's effective too. He takes care of problems very quickly.
Yeah.
In fact, I have had almost no delay anytime I've had an issue. Just like, Mir! And he's like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it took so long. Like, it's been 10 seconds, Mir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Actually, I love doing my Mir impression when Mir's around, because then all of a sudden he goes into that mode where he's just like, "Is that really what I sound like? I'm sorry." I love it. I love it so much. But it's fun. Actually, every time he's on, if wife's nearby, I'll be like, "Honey, come here, listen to this." I want her to hear what he sounds like because she hears my impression, but
Yeah.
she's never heard him, and like he won't even know she's here.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "All right, listen," and all of a sudden, Mir stops talking. Like he just knows where my wife is. And he's like, "Nope, she doesn't hear me."
Oh well, she will love the series I've got going with Mia at the
That's
moment.
true.
Oh, because it is just like I mentioned a couple of episodes ago. It's it's Mia at his cutest. It really is. He's just so sweet and adorable the whole time, the whole way through it.